Welcome back to Artist to Art. We have a wonderful guest on here, Gretchen. So welcome back. Thank you all for joining. Here we go. Hey Kit. Hey Flighty Jet. Welcome.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Well, I'm so excited. I'm trying to arrange this better.
Perfect.
That was so awesome, your conversation with Shauna. Good job, Shauna.
You're welcome to comment on it.
Oh, no, it was great. It was fabulous. It was so much fun.
Excellent. So we're gonna get in here. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah.
So
Here.
just to hang out, and I'm so glad you got to hang out with Shauna. So oh my God, there's a lot of people joining us. So feel free to say hi to anybody.
Happy.
Paul, if anybody has any questions at any time, feel free to say them in the comments. Put whatever you want in the comments. Give us some emojis down there.
Nice, thanks. I feel like I look kind of, does it look like there's enough brightness in my?
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Are you in your studio space?
I am.
Would you like to start off and just show us around?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
It's, I heard you say in the last thing, you didn't mind it being messy, so.
No. I in fact, I like it that way.
Okay.
I mean, that's me personally. I can't say for everybody, but I do. So everybody else will enjoy as well.
You'll be very happy to see this then.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Do you think I have enough stuff? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, tell us what's going on here. What are the tools?
So,
and I like the unfinished work or whatever is going on there. I don't know.
Yeah, this is like a maybe finish. This was a commission. And this is on Yupo paper. So it's this really, it's like Tyvek almost. So it's like it's not even really, it's really plastic is what it is. But don't worry, it's recyclable.
Well, it depends if people are going to throw it out or not. I once.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. If you throw out my painting, it will be recyclable, I think. I don't know.
No. People are keeping that. That's here to stay.
Okay, good. So yeah, this is just I do two, every time I do a commission, I do two. So this is the one that she didn't take. So now sometimes I'll take them back and I'll either rework it or, so this one I'm just sort of deciding on. And let's see. She also asked for two small ones. So it's sort of the same colors. And
what's that writing there? You have like a giant stack.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
This is instructions on how to use this palette that keeps paint wet.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
It keeps the paint wet. Tell us more.
I haven't used it yet. So,
oh, okay.
And I think I used it once. No, that's not true. I used it once, and then the sponge that was in there got moldy. So now it's just, it's just part of the ambiance.
Part of the ambiance. Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yep.
I love it.
Here's some dirty paint water.
Oh, that's perfect. I really like it when it's dirty water that's left there, because that means that it's being used.
Oh yeah, it's been used a lot. Yeah.
That's the way. So what else is going on there? What other materials do we have?
Let's see. I used acrylic paint. These are all, I like the fluid acrylics. They're awesome and golden. I love these alcohol-based ink markers.
Oh, you've got some Copics in there, and then you mix them with different things.
Yep, these are, I don't even know what they are. Premier by Nicole. I don't know. Yeah, Copics are awesome.
You pick them up and you're like, now let's see what happens, or what's your process?
well, I draw a lot in my paintings, so I like to have sort of colors at the ready in case I want to draw something. So yeah, that's what those are. And you know, if with the Yupo paper, these actually stain it, whereas if other inks like watercolor or gouache will just wipe away.
Oh.
And I also love these Posca pens.
Interesting. Oh, those are cool.
Yeah, they're
Pat
acrylic.
asked a question. Is that Pat?
Yeah, hi Pat.
Pat
Pat.
asked, do they stay light fast, the alcohol-based markers?
Yes, they do. I always varnish over top just in case, but most of these are pretty good quality. I had some watercolor markers that didn't stay. That was a hard lesson.
Mm.
Yeah, that was like I had a painting hanging and it was one color one day and then it was totally gone the next day.
I just had that happen to some of my
Yeah.
work. Yeah. It was with like cloth work that I was working on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so embarrassing. It was really like such a rookie mistake, but you know,
Oh
these
no. But these things happen. It's like the materials are
yeah,
right. And
yeah.
then so show us more. Like what's happening in the studio.
Let's see. There's not much. Oh, sorry, I'm like dragging you around. Well, I
No,
have
I like being dragged around the studio. Show us anything.
this is a huge stretcher bar frame. I think it's about 6 feet by 4 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So I made that, and then I forgot I didn't have any more canvas. So that's sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
And these are pieces just stacked up because I don't. Most of my pieces that I've been working on are in the basement, but these are sort of ones that I am debating whether or not I'm going to hang in my house or not, or maybe they'll sell or whatever.
Do you want to show us any of those?
Sure.
Any detail? Yeah, any of them and any details. I just like the idea of like we don't know what's gonna happen.
Yes.
I don't even know what's gonna happen.
I don't even know what's happening most of the
That's
time.
perfect. That's the way that I like it.
So this piece, this is one of those pieces that came together really fast. It doesn't have a ton of layers on it at the moment. And I say at the moment because sometimes when a piece doesn't sell, I will paint over it. Which here's a question for people. If a piece is varnished, do you ever paint over the varnish? This one's varnished. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's a sketchy thing to do or not, but I think with acrylic varnish, maybe it's okay. I don't know. But this piece is called Bright Heart, Broad Shoulders.
Oh,
Kind
interesting.
of
Pat
like...
might be looking for her third piece by you.
All right, Pat. This one just made me think of sort of someone sitting on the shoulders of someone bigger, a little kid, and it kind of has like a heart shape to it. So this one has this is actually, I don't know if you can tell, this is a metallic paint.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, Shauna said, I do with acrylic varnish sanded down.
Oh, okay. Yeah. This one, actually, Yupo is really cool. This is on paper. The Yupo paper is really cool when you sand it. Because it's so smooth that when you put a sandpaper to it, I don't know if I sand it off the varnish, if it would get all the way down to the paper, but that would be a really neat texture.
Interesting. Do you hand sand it or are you like?
Yeah, I don't have a sander.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah. The hardware store is 2 minutes away, so you never know.
Okay. Put it on a wood block and just like hand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Let's see what else is in there. What else
See.
is that?
This is another piece that I'm not sure if it's done. I'll show you one that I put 1,000 layers on in a second, but this one is another quarantine piece. It's called, I think, Sitting on the Couch with Morning Clouds or something. You'd think I remember my titles, but
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah, sometimes I do. Sometimes I remember them. So yeah, this one is, again, apparently I'm obsessed with pink. I put a lot of pink into pieces for some reason. I'm also wearing pink today.
Perfect.
But this one is like another one that kind of came together fast. So when that happens, sometimes I don't trust it. So I'm just like, well, is it done? Is it not done? And then I'll put it out in the world and see what happens. And if it doesn't go anywhere, then I'm like, work on it again.
Okay. That's a really cool process.
Yeah. And this one is not varnished already. So I usually don't varnish them until they sell sometimes for that very reason. So.
Oh, that's an interesting thing. So at any point in time, someone can grab it out of the air and say, it's done.
Right. Yeah.
So even today.
Yes, they could. Here's this one. A friend of mine is going to purchase, but this one I posted this one, I think, yesterday. It's not very, get better light. I don't know. Can you see that better?
Yeah.
But this is on wood panel, and it has about 20 other lives. But you can see there's a lot more going on.
I like, and any details you want to like particularly show us that's like,
sure.
Because I can't get there even when I bring stuff up on my screen.
Yeah.
Details.
One has, you can kind of see with this lighting, has a lot of bumps, and that's like paint underneath. And let's see. Here's this line here is that Posca pen.
So you layer it between the painting and the drawing.
Yes.
Going back and forth there.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I was trying to see, there's some pretty deep scrapes in this one. Poppy will know. Sometimes we don't want to get too close because there's like a dog hair or two in there. So.
Well, I think that adds to it. I think that, that's like the natural element.
Right. Yes. It's like a.
It's like life. It has a couple hairs in it.
Exactly. Yeah, that makes it more valuable, I think.
Exactly.
Right?
I think so too. If you get a piece with a hair in it, you get a prize. So
exactly.
Because they're found. They're like you get them as they are.
Exactly.
That says you're not alone.
Yeah,
you're not alone.
Oh, the home studio.
Yeah. Right? I love it. What? Okay, show us anything else you want in the studio.
Let's see. I'm trying to think. Oh, I know what I want to show you.
Okay.
Well, do you want to see? Well, I was going to show you something of my. This is my dad's sculpture. I don't know. Can you see it?
Oh yeah, that's cool.
So you can see these are wires.
Wow.
And I always see lines are really important to me, and I didn't really know why. And then I stole this sculpture from him. And then I was like, oh, I've been surrounded by lines my whole life from his work. So that was pretty cool. It's a tricycle. And it has as you move it, the wings, I don't know. I'm not just.
Oh yeah. Be careful with that there.
As you move it, the wings move.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Wow.
And you can make he was very concerned that if this were to fly, that it would. I'm moving the ailerons.
Oh wow. He really thought through the engineering of this.
Oh yes. Yeah, he was in aeronautical engineering college, so.
Oh, did he continue that?
Oh yeah. No, he just sort of became like a computer engineer. But he was a sculptor for a long time too. So.
Interesting. Really yeah, Pat learned something new right here. She's been intrigued by your straight line work. So there
Yeah.
you go.
There's, I know, you would think I would know why I put things in, but, and I was like, oh yeah, this is from like, I mean, probably from just like loving the lines of my dad's work. Yeah.
Mm. I do you think we always know why we do these things that we do?
Yeah. No, I, that's good. I mean, I think hopefully like, you know, when you're in that flow state, hopefully that's like, you're not really thinking about too much. You're just like enjoying the process. Um, so yeah, I'm not like thinking like, why am I drawing this right now? I'm just sort of more doing it and seeing if I like it. And then later on, that's when like I'll do some more analysis or whatever.
Nice. Let's check out some of your work on here because
Okay.
we've got a couple pieces.
Okay. Yeah, that one's called Free Parking at the Beach. So that is on Yupo paper, and there's a lot of sort of delicate layers in that one, which is hard for me to kind of hold back because I see the bright colors and I just want to go for them. But this one, you know, the contrast of like the lines, the heavy blackish gray lines, and then the sort of sky tones made me think of, you know, like I've been just really wanting to go to the beach, but I'm scared because there's such a limited parking right now. So it was more of like a wish piece,
Mm.
like hoping to find free parking at the beach.
Hope is it like hoping to get there, or like is it kind of the
Hoping to get there because, you know, we live about an hour away. So I think by the time I got there, I would hoping that I would be able to just have an easy time of it. And
yeah.
not turn around and come home.
Oh my.
Yeah. So that one is also a quarantine piece. I was thinking a lot about this time, and like Shauna said, I'm a optimist, and so I'm trying to like find things to be hopeful for in the midst of the news. And so that piece is called Will We Stay the Same? And so one of the things I've been thinking about is, you know, like what kind of innovations are coming out of this time. You know, as artists, you know, whenever we have limitations, like that's so exciting in some ways. Like when you have all the palette colors, it's a little paralyzing, but when you set limitations or rules for yourself, then you can really kind of explore your creativity that way. So I'm kind of hoping that when we come out of this, there'll be some really positive changes, you know. So so this piece makes me think of someone sort of I don't know, maybe working something out. There's like little moments of busyness and then lots of wandering around in a fog. I don't know.
I like hearing about this. What would you like to see at the end of all of this? Like what sort of positive innovation would you like to see?
I would like to well, here's one positive thing. I mean, I'm sorry to say, don't enjoy sitting through awards ceremonies for my kids' schools. So we got links to YouTube award ceremonies, and that was really fun because it was like we could just sit and watch the award ceremonies, and they list off the names, and you know, I just think that was great. Like that was really interesting. And time saving. Uh,
Not having to go through the whole day of everybody
sorry,
getting
kids.
there.
Yeah.
What?
I said, sorry, kids. I don't know. Like, I love the stories of how, you know, when this first started, you know, animals were sort of reclaiming their territory, and, you know, just things like that are positive outcomes of maybe, or just like, my husband and I celebrated our 20th anniversary in May, and you know we had talked about going on a big trip. We had talked about going out to a fancy dinner or something, but we had dinner with our kids at home and got takeout, and it was like definitely my favorite anniversary we've ever had. Like it was, I just, it's sort of reappreciating the things that we already have. And then within limitations, trying to find new ways of doing things. Seeing things with new eyes, I guess, is another way of, so yeah. I'm not sure anyone else would have seen all those things in that one piece. But that's sort of what I was thinking about when I was making it.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool to like hear all of these ideas behind it, what you've been going through in this time, and
Yeah.
how that's affected you, and then your work.
Yeah. Yeah. When we first went on lockdown, it was hard. Like, I think many artists felt like, I don't want to work. I don't want to paint anything. I don't want to do anything. I don't even want to walk into the studio. But then, like, after a little while, all of a sudden I just couldn't stop. Like, it's been, I always thought, okay, well, I can't work when everyone's in the house, and I can't work unless it's this time of day. But like, gradually all those sort of limitations melted away. And I was like, of course I can work when the kids are home. And they come in and they're like, Mom, that looks great, or that one's not finished, or, ooh, I see this, it's actually really nice having them around. So yeah, so I've been working a lot. Oh, what did I call that one? Resilient. Again, that was sort of the same idea of like someone working out a problem and coming out stronger on the other side. Those are colors that I don't know. I guess maybe I don't know. Like, looking at it now, I'm kind of like, those are weird, but weird is good. So
Weird is good. Weird is totally good.
yeah, it's a lot going on in that one. I didn't really edit a whole lot. So that one may go back into the trenches and get worked on again, or it may stay the way it is. We'll see.
Oh, I like that. I like the process behind this, is that you continue to work and rework and understand.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that one I called, what did I call that one? Oh, thanks, I had a weird time. Again, same sort of theme of quarantine, like that one I sort of saw like beetles in there, and I was thinking about like going on a really strange date, and that's sort of the way this quarantine has felt. Like, no one really knows what they're doing, and so you're like working your way through the weeds, and you just do the best with what you have, and then leaving. Like, I think I don't think we really know how much this is going to affect us until it's over, if it's ever over.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one is another like many, many, many layers of paint.
Wow. So then, so you're mostly in the acrylics here, right?
Yep.
With some drawing.
Yep. Like, I think those red lines are marker. I'm pretty sure those are markers. I don't have that piece anymore. But that one, it was a little different for me. Like I said, again, that one I did edit quite a bit with the white, and just sort of blocking out areas. And I don't know if you find this, but I once heard, do you know the artist Lola Donahue?
I'm not sure if I do.
She's an Irish painter, but I heard an interview with her once, and she was like, I'm sure this is something a lot of people do, but you have to kill your darlings. If there's a place in the painting that you love, like, be careful, because you might be protecting that area so much that you're not paying attention to the whole painting. So I deliberately wiped out those places in that painting, and actually the things that got left, I liked better in the end. So those little bits of color are all places that got left.
Wow. So you just kept wiping away spaces.
Yeah, wiping away the parts that I loved the most, which is hard to do. But it's true. I think when you Oh, my cousin. Hi, Grant. Yeah, when you wipe away those places that you're like so in love with, it really does open up the piece to me.
So do you also design bathrooms?
No, they have one of my pieces, and so the colors from the painting to design the bathroom. Yeah, yeah,
Gotcha.
it's a beautiful bathroom. It looks really good.
Cool. How did you come up with the name?
That is my absolute favorite part almost of the whole. I mean, I love painting, but I love title. I mean, how do I come up with titles?
Well, also your Instagram name, but also
Oh, Toddy Pond Designs. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, my parents in Maine live next to a pond called Toddy Pond, and it's a really beautiful sort of pristine place, and it's like in the woods. You have to go on maybe like a half-mile walk in the woods to get there. Um, and then my parents, when I was 4, they started a school, like an alternative education school called Toddy Pond School. Um, and so that place and that school were so formative to me, that I sort of like, I've had second thoughts about like, should I have made my brand my name, or should I have like a little separation between my name and the title of my business? But originally when I like registered my business with the state, I thought I would be incorporating more graphic design, which is what I started out doing after college. So I kind of want to just have like an overarching umbrella of designs, but now I don't really do the design work anymore.
You've put the design work on side, and now you're like painting full.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Now the thing is this,
Yes,
the painting.
yes, it's all about the painting. I still like to do design work occasionally because I like using that part of my brain, but anyway, so this piece I showed you, I sent you this picture because this is that piece, free parking at the beach. And then on the right, there's interior.
Right where I am.
Yes, I pulled out a page from a magazine, from a Domino magazine that I just really love that color palette. And so I was just showing how sometimes I'll pull from magazines or whatever. I pull from all over the place, but I pulled that palette to kind of inspire the piece. And
Wow. So you're really pulling from different places. You're using some of your graphic design background in this.
yeah, I love the spatial awareness of like I love like from graphic design. I think I learned how to place things on a page, and so I appreciate that when I see that in a magazine. I appreciate, well, you know how to, you appreciate that too, like just how to crop things out, how to what to keep, what to take out, and how to fill up the space in a way that is appealing or jarring or whatever you're trying to convey. So yeah, I don't think those are colors that I would normally put together, but when I saw that photograph, I was like, oh, I love this. So, so
Wow,
that's where that came from.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Also for everybody else out there, feel free to write some comments or questions. Put them down there in the
Yeah.
comments and ask some questions. We're gonna go on to this one.
This one, again, it was a piece that I was fighting with and fighting with and fighting with. That's on wood. It's 24 by 24. And I think I was having a rough time. Like I was feeling very down. I think we were kind of starting to come out, like we're entering phase 1 or 2. I don't know, whenever June was. We're just starting to come out of full on lockdown. And then like people started getting infected again. And so I was having a really hard time. Plus it had been like super humid and I hate the summer. So we had a great morning. I sat outside, I ate breakfast outside, and I like this piece had been really, really dark, and I just brought it in. And I was like, no, I'm just going to paint over it. I'm just going to start fresh. I have this, the air feels great today. It's going to be a great day. Like I just made a decision, and this is sort of what came out of that. It's very like, has a lot of happy colors in it. And so, yeah, I was happy with the way that one turned out. It's surprising to me. My daughters have been saying that my style has been changing quite a bit in the past couple of months, which I think I think if I accept that this is part of my new process of like taking pieces that I think are done and then not being in such a rush to have them be done, you know, and then just accept that maybe they're not. And they usually turn out better when I keep working on them.
Interesting.
How long does a typical poppy?
Mm-hmm.
Usually, you mean like hours? I would say, I don't know. Like I lose track of time. I would say 7 or 8 hours. Maybe. I should time myself. That would be interesting. Find out how much I'm making per hour.
Oh, that would be strange,
Yeah.
wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Grant asked, how do you come up with the creative titles for each piece?
Yeah. Like Shauna, I ask my kids to help me sometimes because, you know, I'll be working on a piece and I'm knee deep in it and in the weeds, and then they'll be like, oh, this looks like blah, blah, blah. And they're usually so honest. And, but also like, I think the titles just sort of come to me. I'll, if a piece is finished, I'll sort of sit and maybe take 15, 20 minutes and just look at it and sort of think, what is the universal thing that I'm feeling that other people can relate to? So like that June, this is called June breakfast outside, no humidity. And I just think, well, there's got to be someone else out there who hates humidity. So, and he likes to eat breakfast outside. So, yeah, the titles just sort of come to me, and I'll sort of play around with the phrase, but usually they just come out of nowhere, and I know right away when it's the right title. And I think with abstract work too, like I want to leave the door open for mystery. Like I want people to relate. I don't want to say this is a painting about, you know, I don't want to tell them everything, but I think it helps with abstract to kind of get a little glimpse to what the artist was thinking.
Into a little bit of like, so that the title is your way to let people into that.
Yeah.
And you found that helps people relate to it better.
I hope so. I hope it does.
Right. No,
Yeah.
that's like really fascinating. And then so we were talking before about like some of these galleries and getting into shows and then after shows. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your experience in shows and all of that?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I really love working with galleries. I mean, like most people, I've had a couple bad experiences, but for the most part, especially I love like getting to know people in group shows, because I mean, solo shows are cool, but when you're in a group show, you get to see all the other artists at the opening. I'm really missing openings right now. I just love a big, you know, art opening is so exciting. So yeah, I really love working with galleries. I think it's so nice to build a relationship with people over time, people that you trust, people that trust you. There's a gallery pretty close by called Gallery Twist in a couple towns over from me, and they live in the gallery. So you walk into their home, and so sort of like it's really cool because you see what the art would look like in a home. And they often, you know, they have, I don't know where they keep it all, but they have this huge collection of objects. So like I had a piece called Shy Spring, and they'll put like something there that complements the piece, but is also maybe a play off of the title. So they had like little blooming, like just barely blooming flowers, like over off in the corner, or I don't know. They're just really, really clever. I had another piece called Little Slice of Heaven, and they had like a pie server right near there, and so that I love working with them because they're really innovative in how they're showing art. And so I hope that they've been closed for a little. I mean, they always close in the summer anyway, but I hope they can reopen again.
Wow. And what new ways have you been seeing people sharing work in this time?
Well, I think a lot of people are going on lives. I think a lot of people are, I think that is one of the beautiful things about this time is when you see celebrities going online and showing you their houses, and you kind of think, well, I could show my house, I guess it's like, it's not perfect, but so I think, people are getting pretty innovative about doing videos or, talking to other artists, or, it's sort of like being at a gallery opening, but then you get direct access to the artist and get to hear their thoughts, without trying to like track them down or find out who the artist is or whatever. So that's pretty cool. I've had two people come to the studio, and so we didn't want to come inside, so I just brought all the work out onto our back patio, and we just kind of had a little private gallery show that way outside.
Wow.
That was kind of fun.
Yeah, can you tell me about that? Like, how did that work? How did you just like arrange that?
Well, someone, actually two different women in the same week approached me and just said, we're interested in your work, but we want to see it in person, which is smart. And they were in driving distance. So they had pieces in mind, but, they wanted to see what the deal was. So I just said, come on by at this certain time. And it was really, really hot, but we had some umbrellas up, and so I just put the work outside, and I think there's a picture of it on Instagram. I didn't send it to you, but it was fun. It was fun to see all the work together.
Oh yeah, I think you did send a.
Well, I sent you one of the yard gallery that I
Oh
did.
yeah, the yard gallery.
Yeah, that one. That was another thing. I had so much work. Yeah. That I just put up signs in my neighborhood, like a yard sale, and posted on Facebook and to like a local group. And it was so much fun. It was amazing, actually, because the best part was that kids could come, and these little kids were picking out abstract art, and they were like, I love this. And, I was thinking that's so neat, because families, they didn't, this was in April, when families are in quarantine and they can't go anywhere, and they can't go into galleries, and it's hard to take little kids into galleries anyway, they could come and touch the art, and it was all free, and it was great for me because it's freed up space for all this new work I made. And it was really fun. It was life-changing, actually. I really, really enjoyed that.
Wow. So were people buying the work right there on the sidewalk?
It was all free.
It was all free. Oh, so you're just giving away all of this work.
Yep. Yeah. I think I was inspired because so many people were out walking, and I wanted to have like a little destination, because we live on a street that's really, really narrow. And so there's a lot of foot traffic, not a lot of cars. So awesome. I was like, well, here's something they can have a place to go and walk by. And it was really, really fun. It was great.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah. I had so much work. Oh my gosh. It was liberating to get rid of it.
Wow. So have you been inspired to kind of replace parts of that now that?
Yeah, I mean, I have worked, that was 3 months ago, so I've been working a lot since then. But, I don't have any shows scheduled, so it's not like I, need to replace a certain amount of inventory. So I think I'm working a lot for myself, and to sell online or whatever, but mostly just to kind of keep myself sane.
Yeah, because before a lot was selling in galleries. That's the normal way that you distribute your work, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So now it's interesting. You're moving it more towards like private viewings outside your house or online, or are
Yeah,
there any other? Mm-hmm.
yeah. Like I mean, that Showfields thing was pretty cool. The sort of live curation with Alicia. I thought that was really fun.
Yeah, could you tell me a little bit about your experience with Showfields?
Yeah, it's been great. I've worked with Alicia before at PXP Contemporary, and that's an online gallery, which is beautiful. Both she and Kat have a wonderful eye. And so she asked me if I would participate with a couple pieces in that show. And so she just basically, it was a live event. So she just went through each artist's work and talked about the work and talked about the artist. And that was wonderful because it was just enough information to really get some sort of insider knowledge about each artist that might not be on their website. Or and then most of the artists were on and could chat back and forth, and that was really fun.
Wow.
So
So
yeah,
you were like so the artists were on there chatting while they're talking about the artists and their different work and what they
yeah,
mean and stuff like that.
yeah,
Wow, that's so
it
cool.
was cool.
So cool.
Yeah,
Let's check out another piece here. When I move this around, there's all these little things. Okay. Oh, I'm kind of like
yeah.
in the middle of this. I'm not sure.
Okay, that's okay. That's a piece that I just thought this was so fun to be able to take this family moved into a new house, and so they had a lot of blank spaces to fill, and I feel like my work is pretty affordable, especially the larger sizes. So I brought probably 7 or 8 larger works, and it was wonderful to see them like try each piece on the wall and just see what the light looked like, and kind of like a real life Photoshop mock-up, just like they get to see what it looks like in person. So they lived with the art for, I don't know, a couple days and tried each piece in each room. And I thought it was wonderful because, like I said, I have so much inventory and not a lot of places for it to go. It was almost like having a little mini gallery show just for this one family.
So cool.
And so they would send me pictures, with updates like, we love this one. And I always tell people, I choose an orientation for my abstract pieces. Like, this is the top, this is the bottom. But I don't care if they change it around. In fact, I do it myself at home. I'll just like flip a piece and be like, okay, this is a totally different piece now. And I think that's kind of like how I know it's done, is if I like it at every orientation. So that one, actually the other one that they chose 2 paintings, and the other one they flipped it to a different orient. Yeah, that
This
one.
one? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I had that originally going landscape, but they liked it better vertical, and I do too. Actually, I really like it that way too. So that was fun. And like, I think when they saw it online, they didn't know that there was iridescent paint, but you can really see that bluish purple iridescent paint in that light. So it's like it kind of came alive seeing it in that room, and that was a cool experience too.
Wow. So you're really like even willing to work with people to try these paintings out and see what works. And
Yeah,
is this the first time that you've kind of done something like that?
that's a good question. I think so. Um, yeah, I've had like interior designers ask to borrow pieces, or just to see for a photo shoot or something, or to show a client. So yeah, I'm totally comfortable with it going out on loan because, again, it's so personal. I think sometimes you need to see it in the space, live with it for a while, especially, and it's an investment too. So, I mean, I'm happy to loan them out.
That's cool. Maybe you'll have a loan program where people can lease or
Yeah.
lease a leasing
Is there
program.
such a thing?
I don't, you, it just became a thing. Where's the internet? Oh, there
I'm
we
back.
are.
Sorry,
There we are.
I had
That's
a
all good.
low battery.
Oh, it's
Uh,
all good. Now's a
sorry
good
about
time to
that.
plug in. Do you need to plug in your phone?
No, I plugged it in. It's
Oh,
good.
perfect, perfect. So
Yeah.
maybe the future will be leasing art.
Right. I'm sure there is something like that. Right?
I don't
Wouldn't
know.
there?
I
We should
don't
look
know.
into it. Yeah.
Look it up. I don't
Yeah.
know. Anybody else out there
I
who's in
think
the
you can
content?
rent art. Yeah, maybe you can rent art for weddings. I thought about that with like Zoom meetings, like you could rent a piece of art to have behind you.
Oh, that would be cool.
Something big like that could really hide a messy closet or something.
Exactly, exactly. I think that would be perfect. So anybody out there who's looking to hide
Oh,
the messy closet,
yeah.
there are paintings for rent. You can always change your background.
Yes. Yes.
It's a program, and you pay X amount per month. Well,
Yeah.
contact us, and we'll let you
Right. Exactly. We'll work it out.
know. Yeah. All right. What's going on here?
Oh yeah, that's a big one. That, it's so funny because the first thing I think of is how quickly a piece comes together or how much tears went into it. Not tears, but like how many indecisive moments and moments of I hate this, I hate myself. That one was that one came together really fast. And but I was really, that one's called Falling Asleep because it just sort of has like a dreamy quality to it. And I love that like moment in the morning when you wake up and you're like, oh, it's a Saturday, I can go back to sleep. Or it's more like a daytime falling asleep, I think. But that one is at another gallery that I love in Atlanta. And so I have loved working with them because it's totally different. I've never been there. I've never interacted with them in person, but we've developed a really nice relationship through email, and they're really, really supportive. It's an all women run gallery in Atlanta, and so that piece I just sent to them. But I was a little sad to see it go, and I often don't feel that way about paintings. I'm like, see you later. But that one, I was kind of like, I wanted to live with it a little longer, but it's okay. I'm over it now.
Is it because they chose or like we want that one?
Yeah, they chose that one. So I was doing a shipment to them, and so it's such a big. I think that one's like 54 by 44. It's pretty big.
Oh wow.
So, yeah.
How do you store all of these pieces?
Well, you saw my pile over there. I have my kids have when they were little, they had a playroom in the basement, and so now that's sort of become the catch-all for all the paintings.
Oh, cool.
Not going anywhere.
Nice. Yeah, and do you keep them stretched or do you kind of roll them up?
No, I usually keep them stretched, but rolling up would be smart. That would be easier. I don't know if anybody has great ideas for how to store artwork. I would love to have racks built or something.
Oh yeah, and the metal cabinets and all.
Yeah, I would love to have a really great. And I use, Artwork Archive.
I've heard about it. It's been brought up a couple times.
Yeah, I use them to kind of keep track of where pieces are and what's sold and expenses and all that stuff. And that is so hugely. I didn't, especially when you're starting out and you don't know how many pieces you're going to make or what your process is going to be like or where things are going to go. To have a system like that keeps track of all that stuff, and I can go back and look at old work or kind of keep track of contacts and all that stuff. So that for someone whose my brain does not function in a very organized way. So that has really, really helped me. And so I kind of know if someone inquires about a piece that I haven't seen in a really long time, I can go in there and find out where it is.
Who has it? What's their, so it keeps track of like their name, their address, their email, like phone
Yeah.
number.
Yeah.
And then do you ask people to like tell you if they're reselling it or something like that, or?
I actually haven't thought of doing that. Do you?
I haven't yet, but I'm just like, I, I'm kind of starting my whole painting thing in public. I've been painting and drawing for a long time, but I've never really done it in public. And yeah, my photographs, it's a whole other realm
Yeah.
that I guess I never could quite find like the boundaries around it because so much of my work was for other people and
Right.
commissions of stuff.
Yep. Yep.
Um, so my fine art photography never quite found they, they didn't find gallery walls, but they found a lot of walls.
Right. Yep.
So painting, I feel like, is a slightly different thing
Mm.
with all
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah. I haven't thought of that. I guess I don't really care too much. It's more the pieces that I have here that I want to keep track of where they are. Or if I've submitted something to a competition or something and I'm waiting to hear back, but then like I don't want to submit it somewhere else too. So that's also helpful in keeping track of where things are.
Interesting, and because I just started an Excel file to keep track of
Yeah.
all the stuff, because this, yeah, it's just been a very interesting thing because this was my first like full gallery solo show.
Yeah.
So just starting to keep track of all of these pieces and where they're at and shipping them out, and it's a whole thing.
With 170 pieces, yes.
Yes, yes. It's like it was just. I mean, there were pieces from this big to like
Oh,
6.5 feet by like
yeah.
3 feet. So there's like
Wow.
you know, so it's kind of like you know, like the tiniest one was like this size, and
Oh, nice.
it's like I don't know. It was like it was an interesting. It was an interesting thing, and then I had bands in here playing, and bands outside, and then the and then the cooking. What sorts of like things do you do around your gallery shows? Like, is it just you sending off the work and then they do all the programming, or how do you
Yeah.
manage to deal with that? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will always promote on my social media feeds. I'm really bad at newsletters. That is like my list of goals is to like do better at newsletters. Um, but yeah, I will certainly promote. I haven't really thought too much about doing anything cool. Like I heard you talking with Shauna about the canoes and viewing art from canoes. That seems amazing. That seems like a dream show to me. But I've also heard of people like oh, I'm forgetting his name now.
So you like that? You like the kayak where people.
Oh yeah, kayaks, not canoes.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I was like, because I was dreaming up this show, and I was like thinking about projecting my work in a cave, and then people are like on these canoes at like, you know, like
Yeah.
sunset and after, and then there's like giant projections, and I don't know, but feel free to figure
Well,
out how
how
people are on
peaceful is that? I
canoes.
mean, that would be, yeah, I think you should do it.
I will. I
Yeah.
now need a new cave and canoe system, but
Yeah.
um, so
Yeah.
if you know of a cave and canoes, like let me know. Well, we
I,
can do a group show.
yeah, I would. Oh my gosh. I don't know of any caves. I know of canoes and kayaks.
And that's perfect.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll hang a group show and it'll be like from trees or something like that.
Yes.
Like going through
Yeah.
canoes.
Free, art in the woods.
Right? Art in the woods, like going down like a river, and then all of a sudden there's like art pieces hung on the
That's
sides.
so cool. I would love that. Yeah. I have done like, I've done a couple like art demonstrations in galleries and talks. Those are really fun. They're stressful, like because I just get nervous, but that's I always love going to those too. So that's some. I mean, it's not super innovative, but those are just some little things that are a little different.
What's the part of that you really enjoy? Like, what are the parts of that you're like, wow, like I wish there would be more of this?
I think even though part of me hates it, I think when you stand in front of a group of people, you're like, sometimes I prepare a little bit, but like this, even now, just like what comes out of my mouth is what comes out of my mouth. And so I feel like when anytime, like Shauna was saying, anytime you're sort of vulnerable or go outside of your comfort zone, like I feel amazing afterwards. Even if I messed up or said something stupid, I'm just like, it's like relief combined with like, wow, I learned something, you know, because even sometimes just that thinking on the fly, you discover new things. Or like if you ask a really interesting question, or I often learn from the people who are in the gallery, most of them know much more about materials and art and process than I do. So yeah, that kind of, and I am an extrovert, so I do love interacting with people. I did the other art fair a couple of years ago. Do you know about what that is?
No, tell me. Tell us.
Yeah, I was like in my glory. I don't know how much time we have. We probably have to get off soon, but that was the other art fair is a big sort of worldwide art show, and they take over huge warehouses. Or so this was in a airplane hangar in Los Angeles, and just hundreds of people come through. And the best part about it was people watching, getting to have face-to-face conversations with people, standing in front of my art, and meeting the other artists was just, I learned so much from them. And I'm still in contact with a bunch of them too.
Wow.
I don't know what the future of that is for this year, but that was I really, really enjoyed that a lot.
Connecting with other artists. That's a
Yeah.
what would you what's something that you'd like to learn more about? Like if you talk to other artists, like what's something that you'd like to learn more about in the future?
I would love to know, like I asked Shauna, you know, I would love to know how people develop new ideas. I feel like my work changes pretty slowly, but if you know, especially people who do like you do many different things, like how do you develop the new idea? How do you, so that's why I've been thinking about residencies, because I feel like that would be the space to have the mental time to really think about things and think about where my heart is and what I want to do next and what I want to try and experiment. I love experimenting with different surfaces, and yeah, so it would be fun I would love to hear more about how people develop either a new line of work, or you know, what if like if it's something personal that spawned them to try something new, or if it's just whatever it is. I love to hear how artists develop new things.
So you mentioned residencies. Have you gotten to do any residencies?
I haven't. Like Shauna, I think it's hard to leave your kids. Mine are in high school now. I've got a rising senior and a rising sophomore, so they just returned from a dentist appointment. But they don't really need me around as much. You know what I mean? They can do their own thing. But I'm still mom, so I think it's hard to go away. And a lot of residencies are like a month, or a couple months or whatever. So I think it's something that I would love to just have out there as a goal to do maybe when they're in college.
So like 2 years out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now's the time to start applying.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I feel like that would be kind of a safe space to be right now, actually, as a residency.
I suppose so. I guess it depends on the residency. It's like so strange because this show is actually in a different city than where I'm living. So
oh, okay.
so that's been also an interesting thing, because like finding friends in like the city, like finding new friends and camping in their yard and
Oh, so far.
what?
So you had to stay.
Well, I didn't have to stay for the whole time, but I've been here for like the weekend or like weekend plus a day.